All right, today we're going to get into the future of a tool called Gitme.ai. And folks, it has a really ambitious plan to solve one of the oldest, most expensive problems in all of software, and that's legacy code. We're going to break down 5 key predictions for how it just might pull it off.
You know, it feels like everywhere you look, AI assistants like Copilot are doing amazing things. Just generating brand new code from a simple sentence. It's an absolute game changer. But it also creates this weird paradox, right? While we're all busy building the future, what on earth do we do with all the code that already exists?
And we're not just talking about a little bit of old code. We're talking about a massive, kind of invisible foundation of software. These are the legacy systems, the complex, sometimes decades-old code bases that power our most critical stuff, from your bank account to the plane you fly on. And for most modern AIs, this old code is a total black box.
So yeah, that brings us right to our first big point, this huge blind spot in the AI world today. AI is fantastic at creating things from scratch, but it really struggles with understanding the history and the context of what's already been built.
So, what makes these legacy systems so tricky? Well, imagine trying to understand a 1,000-page novel by just reading random sentences out of context. That's kind of what it's like for an AI trying to make sense of a massive codebase through little fragmented prompts. It just doesn't work, because the whole story, the context of the code, is completely missing.
And this is exactly where Gitme.ai is trying to plant its flag. See, instead of being just another tool that writes code, it's setting itself up as a specialist, an expert in modernizing these critical but aging systems.
And this really highlights the fundamental difference in what they're trying to do. While tools like Copilot are focused on the future, writing new code, Gitme.ai is focused on the past and the present. Its whole mission is to digest, understand, and untangle all that old code that companies can't just throw away. And honestly, that's a much harder problem to solve.
So, how's it going to do this? Well, our first prediction is that Gitme.ai is going to evolve beyond just being a simple knowledge base, like a documentation center. It's aiming to become a true decision brain. It's not just about what the code does, but why it does it that way.
Just imagine this for a second. You're about to change a line of code, and the AI instantly pops up with a warning, pulling context from old project tickets, emails, even commit histories from years ago. It basically acts like a digital senior engineer, preserving all that crucial knowledge that just walks out the door when people leave a company. The real magic here is that it stops you from making the same mistakes that were made years ago.
Now, this decision brain idea leads right into our next 2 predictions, and they're totally connected. Gitme.ai won't just understand the code, it's going to actively operate on it. It's going to take on these 2 amazing roles, a super precise surgeon and a meticulous archaeologist.
So, as the surgeon, it'll perform these incredibly complex operations, like automatically refactoring and migrating old code. And then, as the archaeologist, it's going to dig deep into the code's history and its context to build this complete map of how every single thing is connected.
And that surgeon role is where you see some absolutely incredible potential. Gitme.ai is talking about an 88% improvement in modernization. Now, this isn't just about making the code a little easier to read. No, this is about moving to what they call assisted execution. Think about automatically breaking down a giant monolithic app into smaller, modern microservices. That is a huge, expensive project that this AI is designed to automate, and that could save millions in engineering costs and get new features out the door way faster.
But of course, to perform that kind of high-stakes surgery safely, the AI needs to be a world-class archaeologist first. It learns not just from the code itself, but from everything around it. Runtime logs, performance data, team chats in Slack, project tickets in Jira. This whole approach creates this incredibly rich knowledge graph that goes way beyond what any one person could ever hope to piece together. Okay, so this leads us to our final 2 predictions. This is where Gitme.ai moves from analyzing the past to actually protecting the future. It's going to become both a sentry, guarding the entire development process, and a guardian, protecting a company's most sensitive data.
So, what does this actually mean in practice? Well, the sentry role puts the AI right into the development pipeline, so it can proactively review every single code change. And the guardian role? That tackles security, allowing the whole tool to run inside a company's private network, so that valuable source code is never, ever exposed to a public cloud.
Yeah, that sentry role is really about becoming the ultimate AI code reviewer. We're not talking about just checking for simple syntax errors here. Because it has all that deep archaeological knowledge, it can actually warn a developer, hey, this new logic you wrote, it's inconsistent with our project standards,
Or even better, don't write that. A function that does the same thing already exists over in this other module. I mean, that's a massive boost for quality and efficiency.
And the Guardian role, wow, that addresses a huge concern for big companies. For a bank or an airline, their source code is one of their core assets. They simply cannot send it to a public AI service. So Gitme.ai's solution is to use smaller, lightweight models that can be deployed privately, right on premise, keeping all that sensitive data safe and sound.
Okay, so let's bring this all together. What is the ultimate vision here? What's the end game? It's about way more than just reading code efficiently. It's about making sure these complex software systems can actually survive. This table really puts the key difference in a nutshell. You've got a tool like Google's codewiki. It helps solve an efficiency problem. It's asking, how do I read this code? But Gitme AI, it's asking a much deeper, more profound question. How does this system survive? And that completely shifts the focus from just efficiency to the fundamental challenge of business continuity.
So the grand vision here, when you put it all together, is to become this all-in-one platform for AI-powered software archaeology and evolution. It's a tool that digs up the past, understands the present, and automatically refactors everything for the future.
And that leaves us with one final really big question. Technical debt, the cost of rework you get from taking the easy route now instead of the better one, it has plagued software development for decades. So could a tool like this, one that acts as a historian, an architect, and a surgeon all at once, could this finally be the key to conquering it for good?